And let's come to a seated position on our mat here. Coming into any cross-legged variation that works best for you. Maybe you just rolled out of bed, maybe you've been awake for a while, so depending on that, the body might feel different. Just take a moment here to really assess how you're feeling physically and emotionally. You can start closing your eyes, letting the palms rest on your knees or your legs. Gently leaning back with the upper body to align the shoulders over the hips. Tuning in with your breathing. Slowly starting to lengthen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. If any thoughts come up or your mind just gets distracted and you start thinking about the day ahead, see if you can gently direct yourself back to your breathing, focusing on the inhale and the exhale. Having a really hard time with that today, you could even count your inhale and count your exhale. That way, occupying your mind with something that is not your thoughts about the day. And slowly start drawing circles with the upper body, keeping the eyes closed. Just try to get just big, expansive circles. It's almost like you're drawing a circle with your hip bones on the mat. We'll feel how this is drawing circles of the shoulders and the upper body as well. That's a really nice way to wake up the whole body. We're going to go the other way around, so switch directions. And then slowly coming back to center. The hands resting on your knees, align the shoulders over the hips, and gently drop your head down, bringing your chin to your chest, feeling that lengthening in the back of your neck. And gently turn your head all the way to the left, looking over the left shoulder, keeping the chin as close to the body as possible. Then we're going to move through center and move all the way over to the right shoulder. So we're doing little neck rolls here. We're only moving from left to right. We're not moving to the back. The next time you're looking over the right shoulder, just come back to center. You can blink open the eyes here, bring your hands together, interlacing the fingers, and then keeping the elbows flowing around. Just start rotating your wrists here. Giving the wrists some extra love. And start going the other way around. And then slowly release, bring the hands up over your head. Palms are facing forward. We're moving into our wrist strengthener. So opening and closing those fists by bringing the fingers to the fleshy part of the palm. So they are open fists. We're going for this clapping sound. And then see if you can speed it up here. Let's speed it up one more time. And then slow it down, interlace the fingers, flip the palms up, squeezing the head with the upper arms, gently engage the core, tuck the tail under to keep the belly button engaged. Maybe bringing the arms behind the ears, giving the wrists and forearms a big stretch. And then slowly release the fingers, let them rain down to the sides. Close your eyes here for a moment, just feeling into the body. There might be sensations in your arms and the wrists, embracing whatever is happening here. And then slowly start making your way onto all fours. Now bring the wrists underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Tops of the feet are pushing into the mat. You can really feel your hips gently lift up that way. Spreading your fingers out wide, pushing into the middle of the palm. And then let's focus especially on pushing into the thumb, index finger, and pinky finger. Feel the shoulders gently widen. Gaze goes about a foot in front of the hands. The head is a nice extension of the spine. And then gently start leaning forward with your inhale, bringing the wrists over, bringing the shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, leaning back, butt moves back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And just keep flowing. You can close your eyes doing this. Aligning one breath with one movement. And then making your way back to center. And move through our cat and cow flow. So if you inhale, drop the belly, let the gaze go up. Exhale, round the upper body, chin to chest. Inhale, drop, look up. Exhale, round, chin to chest. And then keep flowing here. As always, invitation to close your eyes. If there's any extra sticky points or parts, feel free to linger there. And then coming back to center, turn your fingers out to the sides. You can keep your hands where they are or bring them about mat width apart. So your left fingers are pointing to the left, right fingers are pointing to the right. And we will just start moving the shoulders from left to right, trying to keep the arms as straight as possible. Really going all the way to each of the sides. Feeling this in the wrists, in the shoulders. The hips can be swaying as well. So we're not isolating the movement. And then coming back to center, keep your fingers pointing out and then actually keep turning them. So all 10 fingers are pointing towards the knees. So you can see my wrists, the elbow eyes are pointing forward. And then we will just gently start leaning back. It doesn't have to be far, just play with it. Feeling a big stretch in the wrists and the forearms. It's okay if the wrists lift off the mat. You're just keeping the fingers glued to the ground. And then slowly release the hands, sit up, coming onto your heels, and just shake the hands out here for a moment. You can have the toes tucked under or release the toes, depending on what gives you the most sensation. And then coming back onto all four, walk your hands slightly forward, about 2 to 3 inches. So the wrists are in front of the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, and with your next inhale, lift the knees off the ground. The knees are hovering just above the ground. The lower down you stay, the more challenging this will be. Keep breathing here. And then use your next exhale to lift the hips all the way up, coming into our first downward dog for today. You can walk your dog out here, bending one knee, then the other. Just taking some time to explore. Dropping the chest, head is hanging down heavy. Gonna be here for about 5 to 6 more breaths. This is also a good time to just do a little body check, body scan. With your next exhale, walk your hands to your feet, ending up in this forward fold at the back of the mat. Feel free to just let yourself hang down here. You can have a generous bend in the knees. Hands are on the ground, or if you would like to take a bind, feel free to do that. Surrendering into this forward fold. So with every exhale, we see if we can find a little bit more space to let the belly melt down towards the legs. With your next inhale, walk your hands out into a high plank. Maybe letting the hips drop down, coming into an upward facing dog. If this is too much, you can always let the knees touch the ground. Just opening the chest out to the front, shoulders drop back, gaze goes forward. And then from wherever you are here with the next exhale, bring the hips all the way back up. Walk your hands to your feet. Now we're going to keep flowing like this. We're going to use the inhale to walk the hands out, drop the hips down, look up. Exhale, bring yourself all the way back into your forward fold. And then just keep moving with your own breath here. Nice little flow. And then next time you're in your forward fold, stay in your forward fold. See if you can bring your feet closer together. They really don't have to come all the way together, just to the point where it works for your body, so you're still comfortable in your lower back. And keeping that nice bend in the knees. And then let your hands come down to the ground in front of you. So bend your knees however much is needed to make this happen. You want your whole palms to be pushing into the ground. If it's just not happening, no matter how much you bend your knees, then feel free to use your blocks or books underneath the hands. And then by continuing to push into the hands, we're going to come up onto our tippy toes. Lifting the heels up, making sure the shoulders still push back and down, so away from the neck, pushing into the palms. Exhale back down. Bring your hands to your ankles. Maybe even bring the forearms behind your legs. So you're kind of having, my favorite version of the forward fold. So your fingertips are touching the heels from the back. It's almost like your elbow creases are aligned with your knee creases. Then you can use that connection to pull your upper body closer to your lower body. Head is still hanging down heavy. And then slowly release the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Bring the arms up over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a moment of stillness here. Feeling the feet touching the mat, feeling that grounding sensation, feeling that connectiveness to the ground, to the room around you. Move your next inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, hands through heart center, all the way down to the ground. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Walk the hands out into a high plank. So nicely aligning the wrists underneath the shoulders. The butt is at the hip height. So you're not having butt up in the air, no saggy butts. You're more than welcome to bring the knees down and come into a supported high plank. Letting the gaze go about a foot in front of the hand so you have that nice extension of the spine. And then with your next inhale, start shifting forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Keep moving, one breath, one movement. Keeping that core engaged. I know you will feel that in the sides, in the side abs. Three more. And then next time you're rocking back, lift the hips all the way up, coming into your downward dog for 5 breaths. Maybe enjoying some stillness. Feel free to keep moving if that is calling your name. Do what feels good to you. With your next inhale, come up high into the tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees slightly, look in between your hands, and walk yourself all the way to the front of the mat. Bring your feet about hip width apart, a nice wide stance. Bring the left hand to the middle of the mat. You can be on your fingertips. You can use your block to make this more accessible. And we're going to start opening up to the right. You can bring your right hand to your right hip, or maybe let it come all the way up towards the sky. Making sure that left shoulder doesn't creep into the neck. The left knee can gently bend, or you can play with straightening it to see what feels best in the right hip. I like keeping the left knee bent as it gives me a bigger sensation in the right hip. And then slowly come all the way back down. Put your right hand where your left hand was. And then we will start opening to the left, either bringing your left hand to your left hip, or maybe coming all the way up. You can play with bending or straightening the right leg. And just keep breathing here. And then slowly bring that left hand back down. Move your block out of the way if you were using it. And just bring your feet close together and then come into a walking forward fold. So bending one knee, lifting the heel, then the other. Hands are on the ground. It's okay if you're just on your fingertips or if you're using your blocks again. And then coming to stillness. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Bring the arms over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes here for a moment. Feeling the body, feeling gratitude for the practice, for being able to show up for yourselves. And then with your next inhale, let the arms go out and up. Exhale, hands through heart center all the way back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Bring the right knee down. Release the back toes. Aligning that left knee over the left ankle. Start squeezing your hips energetically together so you can feel that scissor movement happening. And then coming up onto your fingertips here, really as high as you can. You could even use your blocks underneath your hands here. Letting the gaze go forward, the chest lifts up. Keep breathing. Keep squeezing those hips together. You can really feel that left hip move back. And then with your next inhale, bring the arms all the way up over your head. Palms are facing inwards. If this is a little bit too much for you, you can always bring your hands to heart center. So do what's right for you. Keep squeezing those hips together so your left hip is really pushing back. Gently engaging the core to not come into that banana shape. Exhale, bring the hands back down, framing that left foot. And then push your hips back, straighten the front leg. You can play with keeping the left foot on the ground, so the toes stay on the ground, or lifting them up and just being on the left heel. Play with it and see what you want to do today. I'm going to keep my foot attached to the mat. Nice big stretch for the top of the foot. And you do what feels good to you here. It's also okay to have a bend in that front knee. You can see my leg isn't fully straightened today. So really adjusting on the daily, adjusting depending on what your body is feeling like. For the next inhale, bend the knee, drop the hips, look up. Exhale, push the hips back, straightening the front leg. Inhale, bend, look up. Exhale, push back. And just keep flowing on this side here. If there's any spots that feel extra good or extra bad, feel free to stay in there for a while. Explore and see if you can let the sensation soften if you just give it some time. And then next time your left knee is bent, stay here, push into your palms, plank the back leg, and then step your left foot to the back of the mat, coming into your high plank or your supported high plank. Keep breathing here, engaging the core, all the parts of the body that feel like they're sinking down, lift them up a little bit, making sure the head is neither dropping nor lifting. It's in this nice neutral stage. Exhale, lift the hips, coming back to your downward dog. 5 breaths in your down dog. With your next inhale, come up high onto the tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees. And with your inhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Bring the left knee down, release the back toes. We're setting up on the other side. Right knee stays over the right ankle. Coming up onto the fingertips, energetically squeezing the hips together. So you can really feel that right hip push back, left hip push forward. Letting the gaze go forward or even up towards the sky. Chest is lifting. And then with your next inhale, lift the arms all the way up over your head. Palms are facing inwards. Again, adjusting whichever way works for you here. Gently tugging the belly button inwards to straighten the spine. And then with your next exhale, bring the hands down, straighten the front leg, pushing the hips back. Inhale, bend the knee, drop the hips, look up. Exhale, push back and straighten. And then keep flowing here. Again, whenever we're in our half Hanuman, so with the front leg straightened, we can keep that right foot on the ground, or you can come up onto your right heel. So yogi's choice. Do what feels good to you. And then next time that right knee is bent, stay there. Push your palms into the mat, plank the back leg, and then step your right foot to the back of the mat, coming into this high plank. Nice way to build some heat. Remember your modifications. And with your next exhale, come back to your down dog for 5 breaths. With your next inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look in between the hands, and then walk, step, or jump your feet in between the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Bring the hands to heart center. We'll do a little bit of balance and stability. So you can bring your hands to your hips here. We're going to start out with the left foot as our standing foot. And then you're going to bring that right foot, you can come up onto the tippy toes. You're going to use your exhale to just step that foot all the way to the back of the mat, trusting that the ground will catch you behind you. If you feel really unstable, it's okay to look back, but try to not do that. Inhale, bring that leg back to the front. Exhale, step it back into your high lunge. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. And one more time. And then we're finishing up with that leg being in the back. You can keep the hands at the hips or bring them to heart center. And then play with dropping the knee down towards the ground and lifting it up. And drop and lift. And drop and lift. And drop and lift. Two more times. And then from here, bring that right foot back to the front of the mat. Take a moment to reset. You can shake it out. And then bringing your hands back to your hips. And I have the right leg as your standing leg. Lift the left heel. And we're going to use the exhale to step that left foot to the back of the mat. Inhale to the front. Exhale back. Inhale. And back. And up. And back. And up. Two more times. Finishing up with that left leg in the back. And we're going to drop the knee down to the ground. And up. And down. And up. And down. And up. Two more. Perfect. And then just bring that left foot back to the front. You can take a couple steps here. Take a moment to reset, shake it out. Bring the feet as close together as works for your body. Inhale, bring the arms out and up. Exhale, hands through heart center all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Keeping the right heel lifted, use your next inhale to bring the arms all the way up into your high crescent. Energetically squeezing those hips together. Sinking deep into the left knee, dropping the hips down. You're really finding your edge here. And with your next exhale, we're going to open up into our warrior two. So that outer edge of the right foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Left knee is pointing outwards, not collapsing inwards. Shoulders up, dropping down, palms are facing down. Letting your gaze go towards your left index or middle finger. On your next inhale, flip your left palm. Exhale, reverse. Bringing your left arm up towards the sky, right hand can come to your back leg. Maybe looking up towards that left hand. So we're not changing the stance here, we're just changing the upper body. Exhale, come all the way back up, framing that left foot. Lift the right heel, step the left foot to the back of the mat, coming into a high plank. And then from here, maybe moving through chaturanga, or just bringing yourself all the way down to the belly, coming up into a cobra. And then we will all meet back up in a downward dog. For your next inhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Left heel stays lifted. With the next inhale, bring both arms up over your head, coming into your high crescent on this side. You can keep a bend in the back knee if that makes your lower back feel better. And then just sink deeper into the right knee, dropping the hips down, squeezing the right hip back, left hip forward. On the next exhale, open up into your warrior two. Right knee is pointing outwards, sinking deep into that right knee. Check on that back foot. The outer edge of the back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Shoulders are over the hips, so we're not reaching forward nor back. And then flip your right palm and come into reverse. So right arm comes up towards the sky, left arm comes towards that back leg. Maybe play with looking up towards that right hand. Keeping that same deep stance. And then slowly come all the way back down, frame that right foot, steps the right foot to the back of the mat, coming into your high plank, and then moving through chaturanga or belly to cobra. Whatever you choose to do, we will all meet back up in our downward dog. 5 breaths here. And then walk your feet to the middle of the mat. And then bring your hands to your feet. One more forward fold, this time in the middle of the mat. Feel free to take your favorite variation here, whatever feels good. I'm gonna go into a little walking forward fold. And then slowly roll all the way up to standing. Head comes up last to avoid getting dizzy. And bring your hands to heart center. And then slowly bring the arms all the way up towards the sky. It's funny, you can't see my arms with this video angle. We're gonna come up high onto our tippy toes. So lifting the heels up as high as you can. We're really challenging our balance here. Find some engagement in the core, squeezing the legs together. If you fall out of it or you lose balance, just come back into it. And then while keeping that tippy toe stance and keeping the hands up, we're gonna start bending the knees, dropping the hips. We're gonna sit down on the heels. You can keep the hands up over your head. You can bring them to heart center, or you can bring them down to your side for some extra support. So wherever you want to be here. And then slowly sit down on the mat. I'm gonna face you, extend the left leg out, bring the right leg in, really making sure that left heel is pushing into the ground. If you wanna keep the left knee bent, that's all good. Just make sure your left heel is still pushing into the ground. And then from here, we will start twisting to the right. Left hand can come to the right knee, right arm walks out behind you. Letting the gaze go over the right shoulder towards the back. You can gently tug your chin here, feeling that big stretch in the left side of the neck. And then slowly coming out of it, facing and framing that left leg and walk yourself out into a nice forward fold here straight away. Trying to bring that belly towards that left leg. Right hip is pushing down towards the ground. You can stay on your hands or come onto your forearms. Still pushing that left heel into the ground, pushing the left knee crease down. And then slowly walk yourself all the way back up. Extend the right leg out, bring the left leg in. Making sure that right heel is really pushing down. Choosing how you want the right knee to be. And then start walking yourself into a little twist to the left. Bringing that right hand to the left knee. Left hand walks out behind you. Letting the gaze go over the left shoulder towards the back. Gently tugging your chin here. And then we will slowly come out of it. and fold over the right leg. You can use your hands to adjust yourself so you really have that belly gravitating towards the right leg. And then just walk your hands out, coming onto your forearms or your palms. The right heel is still pushing down, leading with the belly, trying to get the belly to the right leg. Gluing the left knee and left hip down towards the ground. Really nicely open up that left side. And then slowly come all the way back up. Bring the bottoms of the feet together. We're moving into a little bound angle. You can bring the feet as close in as it works for your body. And then interlace the fingers, cup the toes with your palms. Gently lifting the chest up to the front, shoulders drop down. And then step pushing your knees down just with the strength of your hips and the legs. So your arms are not pushing the legs down. Your gaze can go to your toes, gently lengthening the back of your neck, pushing the bottoms of the feet together, which will help you to bring the knees down even more. And then slowly release. Make your way onto your back, keeping the knees bent. Arms are on your sides. Bring your feet in to the point where your fingertips can touch the heels. If that doesn't happen for you, it's all good. Just bring them in as close as it's possible. Then tuck your tail under so you can feel your lower back spilling out the whole mat. So if I were to walk around, I could not bring my hand underneath your lower back because of your lower back is touching the mat all the way. Keeping the knees close together. With the next exhale, lift the butt up, lift the hips up, letting the gaze go up towards the sky so we're keeping the chin away from the chest. You can gently squeeze the butt here. The shins and the knees are facing forward. Keep lifting up higher with the hips. Keep breathing. Long inhales, complete exhales. And then slowly lower down, vertebra by vertebra, coming in like a little wave. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big, big hug here. You can grab the opposite elbows. You can just hold onto your knees, whatever feels good to you. And then release whatever grip you have. Extend the left leg out long, keeping the right knee in. Hug it in tightly. Almost like you're pulling the right knee towards your right armpit. That left hip is grounding down, left knee is grounding down, left heel is grounding down. A lot of grounding. And then from here, we will guide that right leg all the way over to the left, coming into a spinal twist. That right arm can move out to the right. Decide if you would like your gaze to go up or over to the right. Making sure that the right shoulder stays glued to the ground. And then see if you can work on relaxing the left shoulder. Sure that left fingers are not cramming into your leg, but they are gently just lying on it. So always trying to let go of a little bit more tension. And then slowly coming back to center. Bring your left leg in, extend the right leg out. Hugging that left knee in, bringing the knee towards the left armpit. And again, that right leg is grounding, grounding, grounding. So the whole leg all the way from the hip to the heel, pushing into the ground. And then from here, we will guide that left leg all the way over to the right. Left arm can move out to the left, letting the gaze go up or over to the left. I'm cactusing my arms just because of space. You do what feels good, making sure that left shoulder stays glued to the ground. And then we will slowly work on relaxing the right shoulder, making sure the right fingers are relaxed. Nothing is cramming, nothing is tensed up. Feel free to have your eyes closed here. Slowly back to center. One more big hug with both legs in. And then extend one leg out long. Extend the other leg out long. Bring your arms out to your sides with your palms facing up, making sure neither one of the shoulders is pinched. Giving your armpits some room to breathe here. Moving into our final, most important pose. Moving into our Shavasana. Relaxing in here. Relaxing letting the body melt. Maybe traveling to your favorite place in nature, observing all the sounds, the noises, the sights. And then slowly start coming back into this room. Start wiggling the fingers and the toes. Let the movement spread out into your arms and your legs. Bring your legs together. Bring your arms over your head on the ground, giving yourself a big, big stretch. And then slowly bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself the biggest, most loving hug you can come up with. And then letting go of the knees and slowly rolling onto your right side. Letting the head rest on your right hand or your right arm, and your left hand is just there to support you. From here, slowly start making your way back up into a seated position. Bringing your hands to heart center when you arrive here. Keeping the eyes closed. Gently drop your head down, dropping the face, the nose towards the hands. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be kind. Namaste. Thanks for joining me this morning. And then before you all